Well, Riley, talk about the charter system because it's getting pretty bad.
Well, it depends on who you ask. 13 of the teams don't think it's that bad at all.
Our teams are good.
Yeah.
Our teams are locked in for next year. Two of them aren't.
Yeah. So there's two teams that didn't sign the new charter agreement. The other 13 teams did. The two that didn't are 23-11 and Front Row. Apparently Friday, NASCAR came to the teams and said, you're either signing this or you guys can get fucked. And most of the teams said, I think we'll sign. But two didn't. And all they're saying is that they, Front Row said that they didn't like the fact that, they only had a couple hours to read the thing and they weren't going to sign it without reading it. And then 2311 pretty much said, these are fucking communist tactics from NASCAR, so fuck them. We're not going to be bullied into signing this agreement. And this is paraphrasing. They didn't actually say these words, but this is what they meant. And, fuck you guys pretty much. You're not going to bully us. And we think we deserve X, Y, and Z, and you guys aren't giving it to us, so we're not going to sign it. We don't care what you say. We think we have, the legal standing to take this as far as we need to go. I'm kind of torn on the whole thing because, half of me is like, well, I get what Denny and Curtis Polk and Michael Jordan are saying. Like, hey, NASCAR, you have to, we're the ones with all the risk here. We're the ones that pay all the money to bring the car and the ones that aren't making money. So you gotta help us out with a little bit of this and, sweeten the pot for us a bit. But then you've got NASCAR that says, you don't have to show up, right? We put on this race with or without you. You don't have to come. It's
hello.
It's our field. It's our ball. It's our bat. It's our uniforms. It's everything. We own everything other than the cars. So if you guys don't want to show up, I guarantee you somebody's going to take your spot and will. So I get that as well. If you don't want to play, take your shit and go home. And that's the way NASCAR has really always been, is that, this is an invitational series, and we don't have to invite you back, is the way it's been explained to me. And so that's where I'm kind of torn, because both are true. I think that NASCAR probably should kind of concede a little bit to the teams and let them, profit a little bit more and be in a little bit more control of what they are doing. But then again, NASCAR doesn't have to. I think NASCAR was always better when it was, like it was in the early days. And this could be just me being, boomer, get off my lawn guy. But when Jeff Gordon could show up to a race and miss the race, even though he was the points leader, that is far more intriguing than knowing that, Cody Ware's going to make every race because they have a charter in the 34 or the 51 car, not the 51 car, the 15 car. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're going to be there. The only time qualifying ever matters anymore is at the Daytona 500 when one or two guys might get sent home.
It's usually more than that. A couple more.
Sometimes.
3 or 4. But yeah, other than that, you're right.
And that was when qualifying mattered and it meant something.
I think it was
if you made the race, if you were Cody Ware in 2005 and you made the race, it meant something to you because you had to work to get there.
Yeah, I think Carl Edwards almost missed the 2015 Daytona 500. His first year at JGR because they
didn't have any points.
The team didn't have any points. You had to qualify, lock yourself in, and finish above the go or go home guys.
I think he had to race his way in the
duels. He had to. Yeah, he had to. Danica the same way.
When she sat on the pole.
Well, no, it was. Danica was nervous, almost not making one of the Daytona 500s back in the day. So, are you done?
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you something, Riley. Does NASCAR have to answer to anybody?
No.
Nope. So, I get what 2311 and Front Row is trying to do. They're trying to stand out and trying to fight for the little guy and fight for the teams and the drivers that, bring in, more eyeballs to the sport. The problem is the sport is still what it is. If Denny Hamlin and 2311 Michael Jordan go out and make another racing series like Tony Stewart did, SRX, call it the 6-pack racing series or whatever, there's not going to be hardly as many people watching that as there will be a NASCAR sanctioned event because the brand of NASCAR. These teams, 2011 Front Row, I get it. I get why you're frustrated. But guess what? Everybody goes through this shit. Everybody at their normal day-to-day jobs are frustrated with something that upper management does or, don't agree with the decision or agree with the way they're doing something. Guess what? If you want to keep our if we want to keep our jobs, normal people, we got to just suck it up and deal with it. As much as that sucks, it's not fair, quote unquote, in your eyes if you don't agree with certain things that people do or corporations do. But they have the power, they have the leverage. They're paying you money. They're giving you a charter every year to go to sponsors and go be like, hey, no matter what happens, we're going to be in every race next year. That's why the charter system was built. That's why the owners wanted it. They wanted security to go to the sponsors and be like, hey, no matter what happens, we're going to be in every race. We got a system. We're in it. We done paid for it. We are good. We are, no matter what happens, we are going to make every race every year. And I agree with Riley. It kind of does take out the intrigue of qualifying and stuff like that. But with the way the market is in this world and the economy, that NASCAR is not what it used to be. So you need that security blanket to be like, hey, 3M ever comes back. They try to get on with RFK again, Roush Fenway Keselowski Racing. Hey, we're going to try to get 3M to sponsor Brad Keselowski for 30 races next year. Okay, are you guaranteed a spot every race? Yeah. Okay, sure, we'll do it. Instead of being like, 3M, all right, we're going to sponsor Brad Keselowski every race. Or we're trying to get you to sponsor 30 races for Brad next year. Okay, you guaranteed every race? Well, no, it determines on the points and the way we do and how fast we are and stuff like that. Well, I don't know. We'll have to think about it. That's why the charter system was in place, why it became what it was today. But the bottom line is, it don't matter what you feel like is unfair or not. You are racing in NASCAR. You are what you are because of NASCAR.
They make the rules.
They make the rules. You have to,
or you don't.
Yeah, you have to abide by them or get the fuck out. It sucks, but that's how it is. That's how every corporation is. Every business in America. The owner, the top dogs, determine what is being done and what will be done. And unfortunately, you're just a race team involved in the big bubble that is NASCAR. You're just a small little piece. Now, I get that Michael Jordan is a huge name, huge brand that can bring in huge fans, new fans, publicity to the sport, have national talk shows talking about NASCAR if, his drivers win like Bubba or Tyler Reddick and stuff like that. But that doesn't equal out the amount of money that NASCAR has given you, has sacrificed to let you do that. And I get you sacrificed too. The race teams sacrificed. Everybody sacrificed. But the thing is, you didn't invent NASCAR, so you don't get to make the final decision in anything, really. So this whole charter thing it's just a mess. I knew it would come to this because last year when we talked about it, or beginning of this year, they got time. I was like, man, it's going to come down to what the last minute, because if it wasn't, it would already be done by now. Back then, I knew it was going to come to this. I just hope that 2311 in Front Row realizes it might not be what you want, but it's better than being jobless, not having cars out on the track, being able to get sponsors sponsor your cars every week and getting money that way. Like you can't just think about, this is not fair. we're gonna fight for the teams, fight for this. This is bullshit. When 13 of the other teams have, you just gotta take that in consideration. And I know that sounds like backing down, but hey, you gotta do some ass kissing. Everybody does ass kissing in this world to get where they want to go, and I think 2011 and Front Row needs to do that. I think they will, but if they don't, then it's like, well, if you don't agree to these terms, then see ya. It's leave.
Well, I don't think they're going anywhere, number one. I think they're eventually going to sign the deal. I think they are just doing their best to get everything they want. And they know that NASCAR...
But they're not going to get that.
I know. And I don't know that I think they don't think NASCAR is actually going to do anything to them. Or penalize them. They're not going to take their charters away like they've threatened to do. It's just not going to happen. So
because who would even pay for those? The big teams like Hendrick, Gibbs, or Field. Reportedly, RFK already gotten one. Yeah. Front Row's already bought one, and they're one of the teams that is out.
Yeah. So
you still got what, 2 more? That's 3 charters plus 2 from 2311. That's 5 charters.
And apparently,
who's going to buy them charters?
Yeah. Apparently, there's 4 more charters that NASCAR owns themselves.
Yeah.
That
40.
nobody owns.
Yeah.
That they're going to give to another manufacturer if one is interested. So there will be a 37th, 38th, 39th, and 40th charter floating out there.
Because they're supposed to
eventually
be 40 full-time. Because when they shortened it, when they invented the charter system, they wanted to go from 43 cars a race to 40.
Yep.
They want to have all 40 charters covered. They only got 36 right now. And they've had that for a while.
So, I don't think they're taking charters away. They threatened that, but I think if every team... And NASCAR is smart, right? I mean, they've been doing this for 100 years. There's
80,
been...
close to 80.
There's been, plenty of times where drivers tried to unify and start drivers' unions.
What did Bill France Sr. or Jr. do when the driver tried to revoke the Talladega race?
See you later.
See you later. We got our own guys
And
in.
That's what I'm saying. Richard Childress ran in that race. And
yeah.
I think it was the last race. But that's my point, is that, like, NASCAR, as much as they need the teams and the drivers, they don't need specific teams and specific drivers.